getting upset with this tablet. It's got some software update nonsense that it keeps wanting me doing. I don't want to do it. When I tell it to do it, it wants to go to hotspot stuff and all this, and I don't know why it wants to do that. I don't want it to do that. Here I done started making this video. Morning, folks. Papa Joe here. Maybe I should be grumpy Papa Joe here. I've been up over an hour. I set the alarm last night when I laid down. I was shot. Whenever I set the alarm, I don't sleep well. You know, my dad had an internal alarm. He could tell you, I'm going to lay down and get a half-hour nap. He'd lay down and get a half-hour nap. Half hour later, he's walking out. Like, how the hell do you do that? Me, I'm one of them that if I set the alarm, I'm going to get up a minimum of 15 minutes before that alarm goes off. In this case, it was over an hour. Somebody fired up over there. I seen him back in last night. At 10 hours ain't up. They're close, but they're not up. But I want to get where I'm going. About 8 o'clock. I'll be pulling out of here in the next half hour. Only bad thing about that is that's I-45 and it's dead right now. Yeah, there ain't a whole lot on it. It's 6:38 here, and it surprises me there ain't more traffic than I'm seeing. I'd love to be out there making my time now. You know, before the traffic sets in. There goes a bunch of them. But with these computer logs, you can't do it. And I don't pick up my next load. It's 45 minutes between the two, or 45 miles between the two loads. I deliver one at 9 o'clock and pick the other one up at 2 o'clock. That's a pretty good span right there. Then it delivers in Tulsa tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. So I need to be mindful of my hours and not waste as many on the front side this time as on, you know, saving them for the run. For you new drivers, this is just how you plot and plan. Back in the day, when we had paper logs, this wouldn't have been a problem. I would have been out there already an hour ago. I'd been out there. I'd been up there by my receiver. I'd been parked in the street or wherever I could have parked. And then lo and behold, it would have showed I didn't leave here until 8 o'clock and I got there at 8:45. That's just how it was. That's why they came up with that damn thing. They call it cheating. Most of us just call it smart driving. I mean, why sit here and wait on rush hour? I mean, think about it. And why would they want us to sit here and wait on rush hour? You know, I'm sure they think that I should be going right now so I can beat rush hour and not be part of the problem. And they don't give a damn about my livelihood and how many hours I burn up. Had a talk with a new driver yesterday. Got explaining to him a little bit about the paper log. And he was thinking he would run that paper log just like you do this computer log. And I said, oh, no, you don't. You know, I said, not with my company, you don't. You know, because my company on the computer log, they take advantage of every shortcut law allows. And that don't work on paper log. You know, this computer log, it does its thing by the second. That paper log does it by the quarter hour, so every 15 minutes. So I explained to him that there'd be others that would contradict what I said. I said, but I only got one logbook violation from DOT in all the years I was out here. I correct myself too. One was a California write-up, so to me that don't count because it was BS. Those that have been out here long enough to remember California, you know what I'm talking about. The old California, not these new lovey-dovey people out there. That help you any? Then the other time was in Kentucky, where I was running 24 hours behind, and he almost didn't catch it, but he did. But both of them was an hour service still. You know, running 24 hours behind, he shut me down. But other than that, everything matched. What I was explaining to him is that either on your pre-trip or on your post-trip, you have to show 15 minutes. That's old rules. That's my rules. So I always showed the morning trip, the pre-trip, as my 15 minutes. And of the evening, the post-trip, I flagged it, so it didn't cost me any minutes. I told them when you fueled, the old rules was if it was less than 50 gallon, you could flag it. If it was more than 50 gallon, you showed 15 minutes. Shippers and receivers, you show 15 minutes. Well, that ain't how we do it with an electronic log. So you'll have to find out how your company wants to do it, whether you probably already know if you're a driver. If you're not, they'll teach you. So he was like, oh wow, okay. And I've known the individual for a little bit. I say he's new. He's got 2 years under his belt, but everything's been computerized. And it was just a conversation, you know. Oh, me, oh my. I was telling the wife last night that I'm a little bit concerned about this regional. However, this is the first run, and I'm not going to judge it by the first run. I left the house Sunday, and Corpus Christi, and I fell about 80 miles short, I think it was, which was fine. I got up, I got on in, got my business taken care of. The load, I was empty by 9 o'clock. The load I picked up didn't load until a 2 o'clock appointment, about just under 100 miles away. So I loaded that, which took all afternoon. They finally got me out of there. I'd have to look, but say 4 o'clock. So, you know, which, you know, 2 o'clock appointment. Now I got there at 11:15, and they put me in the dock right away. But I didn't get loaded until later. That's how it works. You take a gamble. I did ask them, the broker, where I'm going up here in Melbourne, I think it is. I said, will they take me early? And she said, yeah, it's not real likely. You can go in an hour early. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot to be in there an hour early. But that was like 200 and 60 miles to here. And then, like I said, I'm going to go pick up about 45 miles away, and I'm going to go in early. You know, how can I not? Now, sometimes going in early, they'll turn you away and won't let you on the property. Sometimes they'll let you camp out. Sometimes they'll load you. I don't know what happened, but I think it's a beer load I'm going to get. So I have hopes that they'll load me early. If not, it's a 2 o'clock appointment, and be lucky to be out there by 4 o'clock. And if I start my clock here at 7, then, you know, that cuts way back. Then it's how far to 3 something, I think. 298 to where I'm going to deliver at. So another 300 miles. So for today, I'm going to do good to get 400 miles in. I got 48 miles there, 45 miles or 44 miles to the other one, so we'll call that 100, and then the 300. So I'm just under 400 miles for the day. Well, that's not what I'm really used to, and that's cut me a minimum of 200 miles short. So the biggest thing is going to be if my budget can stand it at home. We'll see. Then from there, 6 a.m. delivery. Hopefully I'll be out there by 8. I'll be back in the yard by 9-ish. And start this all over again Wednesday. This is the first load out of the box. And like I told the wife, I know there will be trips like this. Other times, depending upon where I end up at, Corpus Christi is not the best area to get out of. And I'm experienced enough to know that. So, I'm not going to judge and get all upset over this first load. However, I have some concerns. I just ain't going, I'm only voicing them to y'all. You know, so don't y'all go telling the company, okay? We'll see how it works out. And my dispatcher, although we come down to Texas a lot, you know, and they have some places like over in Houston and stuff that it's a no-brainer getting you out of and coming right back up to the yard. They have stuff like that out of Dallas, but running some of these loads that ending up where I'm going to be, like Corpus, Laredo, you know, stuff like that, he's probably going to have a little bit of an issue to get me out in any kind of a timely order, much less a one long haul back to the yard, which that would be ideal. But that ain't necessarily going to happen every time, that is. So I'm just updating you on my regional. Now, I ran within 15 minutes of my 11 hours yesterday. I was getting after it, well, as fast as I could on Texas back roads, which some of them are 70, 75 mile an hour, but some of them towns are 25 and 35 in spots. So, and I ended up here at on its last leg truck stop. They close overnight. Driveway sucks. Parking lot's even worse. Don't look like fuel pumps work, but it was a place to work, or a place to park, I'm sorry. So I parked up. This morning I was glad I had my 5-gallon bucket and trash can liners. if you know what I mean. I told y'all to be prepared for anything and everything that you could out here. So, I was. And I was glad. So, you need to heed that advice if you haven't already. Whatever situation or however you think you need to do it, you need to be set up for emergency situations. So, one day it can make you a happy boy or girl. So, so that's my world. It's almost 7 o'clock. I'm going to give Mama another call, make sure she stayed up. I'm sure she did. I heard her turning our house alarm off. So, I heard her talking to her puppy cat, seeing if they was ready to go out, which they're probably saying, Mom, why are you up? Mom, why are we up so early? So, and actually, now that you need to know, and my wife says, you tell them everything. Why do you have to put everything on there? Well, it's a YouTube channel, and I'm telling people what's going on in my life. You know, I have a boring life, but some of them must have a more boring life than I, because they're watching me, seeing what's going on in my life. I don't know. And don't get offended. I'm being a smart ass. The daughter-in-law has been a stay-at-home mom for the last year or so, and she normally works. That's something between her and the son. You know, but they're down to one vehicle and all that shit. But anyway, that's their deal. And wife's having air conditioner problems on our van. And yes, grandkids are why we got a van. No, we're not soccer parents. However, we are grandparents. And where I wanted to stick with the little cars, little sports cars, which ain't smart at our age. They hurt getting in and out of them. Grandma wants to be able to haul her grandbabies around. And Grandma normally gets what Grandma wants. Because it don't matter to me. You know, I'm out here on the road. She's the one that has to drive that van, and it ain't like it's a big 15-passenger van. You know, it's a little Chevy, whatever the hell Chevy calls their little vans. You know, little bitty 3-seater. You know, holds like up to 8 people. So if she wants to drive that around so that she can haul grandbabies around, I ain't gonna argue with her. You know, I don't care. I drive this. So when I get home, if I have to drive a van, I drive a van. Well, at least since I got rid of my truck, my pickup. But anyway, rabbit trail. Get back over here. The daughter-in-law, the son fixed AC for her, vacuum hose stuff, and I told the mom, I said, ask Jess if she wants to come over, and I made an offer on day wages. Now, we know the son needs their vehicle to go to work. I said, tell her that you'll come pick her up, feed her lunch, take her home, and give her X amount of dollars. And she can come over and start picking up sticks. I mean, you know. So the wife offered her the deal that I said, and she jumped all over it. She's like, oh, hell yeah, I'll come pick up sticks. You know, they got 3 kids, you know, she willing to make some extra money. So I told the wife, I said, let her know that there'll be a little bit more stuff to do. And we give her a day or 2 a week. If our funds will allow it, that's why I'm concerned with these runs. But it'll work out good. It'll help them and us. And you done seen the video from my place. There's a lot of sticks and shit to pick up. She got a couple days worth of work just picking up sticks. Never really thought I would be paying somebody to pick up sticks. Go figure. So that's where we're at on that, and I'm fine with it. Actually, I'm quite tickled that she's gonna go do it. Yeah, it kind of blew her mind there for a minute, and the wife had to explain to her, you know, it's springtime in Texas. She's not from Texas, she's from Georgia, but she's been here a couple years. And she says, if we don't get on it now, then the grass is going to get growed up over it, and we're going to have issues. I like my Monsters, but I had it set up over there wrong. I didn't even drink one yesterday. I ain't going to say that today. If you ever hear me talk about my coffee in a can, right here. I used to be addicted to coffee, and I've probably told you this before. Back in the day, we had some pretty rough water across the country, and their coffee always tasted like their water. And especially out west. I mean, in California, you had what we called chalk water, because it had left a white chalky residue when you got your truck washed, but or any vehicle. But fixing to have me a coffee, so I quit drinking coffee. Then they came out with these. It took a little bit. Me and Mom explored with different ones, experimented with different ones, and Blue Monsters is what we went with. After we quit smoking, she went to the White Monsters. I'm still doing the Blue Monsters. So, well, folks, there's your little update on what's going on. I need to look and see what the duration of these videos are on y'all watching. Sometimes, like today, I get a little long-winded, and I'm wondering just how many really watch it to the end. Because a lot of time my averages show that they're only being watched 5 and 6 minutes. Do y'all get that bored that quick with me? Do I need to cut them down? And yes, I would like to have some comments and responses. If my regulars are watching them all the way through, keeping up on what's going on with me, please tell me. And I'll continue to do like I am. And those that just bounce in off the internet and watch 2, 3, 4 minutes and exit out, well, that's on them. It's you guys, my regular subscribers, that I am trying to pacify. And I guess pacify really ain't a good question. You're the one that I'm trying to please. So y'all let me know as I watch all this traffic build up out here. And I can't go nowhere yet. What a bummer. God loves you. I love you. You should love you. Remember, there's people that love you. Y'all have a blessed day now. Bye.